On Saturday afternoon, my father and mother had to go visit my father's boss, who was in the hospital. They said they didn't want to take Miranda and me with them, and we said,
"Fine, we'll stay home. We didn't want to go anyhow."
As they were leaving, my mother said,
"Remember now, you'll be here alone, and I don't want you to let anyone in. That's a rule you mustn't break."
They said they would be back in 2 or 3 hours. Daddy patted me on the head, and they were gone. I did a little dance around the kitchen table, and Miranda said,
"What's with you?" "We are free,"
I yelled.
"The house belongs to us." "You are crazy,"
said Miranda.
"Nothing's changed. You know perfectly well that there are family rules, and they stay the same whether mom and dad are here or not." "Free, free, free,"
I sang.
"Free, free, free. Everything's possible."
Miranda wrinkled up her nose, like she always does, and said,
"You are disgusting."
I said,
"I'm going right to Mama's closet and put on her good dress that comes down to the floor." "It swallow you,"
said Miranda.
"but maybe that's good."
Just then, there was a knock at the door. I didn't take off the chain. I just called out,
"Who's there?"
and I heard Isabel say,
"It's Isabel and Connie."
Miranda said,
"Pixie, you heard what Mama said. We are not supposed to let anyone in. Rules are rules." "But Mama didn't mean we should keep out people we know."
I insisted. Miranda said,
"There are lots of cooks we know that Mama wouldn't want us to let in."
Just then, Isabel called from the other side of the door,
"Pixie, don't worry about us. We just stopped by to say hello. See you tomorrow."
I didn't have a big argument with Miranda, so I went up in Mama's closet and sat down on the floor among the shoes and thought about my mystery creature and my mystery story. I grumbled to myself,
"Can you imagine? This is the only place I can be free to be me."
Somehow, I managed to last through Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. At last Wednesday came around. The real Wednesday, the right Wednesday, the honest to goodness day of the zoo trip Wednesday. Everybody kept trying to guess everyone else's mystery creature. Isabel and I were standing right behind, where Brian was sitting. He didn't know we were there. He opened his book, peeked inside, and quick closed it again. But I caught sight of a card he had in the book, a card with a picture of an animal on it. It was a picture of a giraffe. I took Isabel by the arm and we moved away. I whispered to Isabel,
"That must be Brian's mystery creature. Why in the world would anyone be interested in an ugly, old, long-necked giraffe?" "Pixie,"
said Isabel,
"forget it. It's none of our business."
Just then, Neil, the one who always teases me, called across the room.
"Hey, Pixie, I know your mystery creature. It's Mom."
I screamed at the top of my lungs, and he stopped short and looked very shocked. Mr. Morgan was very angry.
"What's going on here?"
He wanted to know. I was all choked up. All I could say was,
He said.
Neil said,
"I was just trying to tease her a little, Mr. Morgan. Honest, I was going to tell everyone that Pixie's mystery creature was a mammoth because everyone knows that there aren't any more mammoths. They are extinct.
I can't tell you how much better I felt when Neil explained about the mambas. And right now, I can't tell you why I felt better. I said to Isabel,
It seemed like a big joke to find out Brian's mystery creature, but it wasn't a joke at all when I thought Neil had found out mine.
Mr. Mugan,
Rusty asked.
this afternoon at the zoo, can we all go where we please, or do we all have to stay together? I'm glad you asked, Rusty, because that's one rule I'm going to have to insist on. We have to stay together.
Mr. Morrigan frowned us. He said that was his way of letting us know he meant what he said.
Is that a zoo rule?
Kate asked.
Or is it a school rule?
Mr. Morrigan said.
It's a school rule.
Then he added,
The zoo has its own rules, which you see if you read the signs. Yeah,
said Jenny.
like don't touch the birds of the leopard cage and don't feed the polar bears. Mr. Mugan,
Said Robert.
we are not babies. We can take care of ourselves. Why do we have to have rules for everything? It's not a matter of how old you are, Robert.
Said Mr. Morrigan.
There are rules for grown-ups as well as for children. Take the rules of grammar. They apply to everyone. Like, a plural subject takes a plural verb. I can't properly say, the dog is sitting on the lawn. I have to say, the dogs are sitting on the lawn, because I have to follow the rules of grammar. It's the same if you are playing a game, Robert.
Jenny said.
There's no such a thing as a game without rules.
Every subject we study has rules.
Said Gerald.
Like what?
Tommy wanted to know. Mr. Morrigan went to the board and wrote the heading for 5 crowns: social studies, science, language arts, health and safety, arithmetic. Then he said,
All right. Who can give me example of rules in each of these areas?
Isabel said,
It's a rule in geography that the map has to be made exactly like the place it's a map of.
In arithmetic,
said Rusty.
it's a rule that when equals are added to equals, the results are equal. In health and safety,
Said Cheetah.
it's a rule that a person who's been drawing should be given artificial perspiration. Respiration.
Said Mr. Morrigan.
Artificial respiration.
Cheetah said.
In science, we learned that people shouldn't dump poisons into their legs and livers.
Said Tommy.
That's a rule. And in writing,
Said Jenny.
we learned that questions have to be followed by question marks and exclamations have to be followed by exclamation marks.
That was very good, Mr. Morrigan said.
Wait a minute.
I said,
I'm not sure about what Rusty said. What's wrong with what I said?
asked Rusty.
It's true, isn't it? Sure, it's true.
I told him.
But is it a rule? Like when we get a game, We first look at the rules, because the rules will tell us how to play the game. So rules tell us how to act. But what you said just tells us how numbers act. It doesn't tell us what to do.
Mr. Merrigan said, I think pictures like Rusty. What you gave us was really not a rule, but a principle of arithmetic. Cheetah raised her hand.
Mr. Mulligan, what do you have in spelling rules or principles?
That's not an easy question to answer, said Mr. Merrigan. Speaking of spelling, would you please turn in your spelling homework? I heard Cheetah whisper to Robert.
Boy, did I stump him? Oh,
Robert said.
I'll bet he knows the answer, but he just didn't want to tell us.
I wasn't sure whether to agree with Cheetah or Robert, but then, no sooner than we had finished our spelling, it was time to take the bus to the zoo. The bus ride was very bumpy, especially way in the back, where Isabel and I were sitting or bouncing. Mr. Merrigan sat by himself up in front. The trip to the zoo took a long time. Tommy and Neil kept cutting up, but after a while, even they got tired. Then Cheetah called out,
Mr. Mulligan, I'm worried about the story we are supposed to make up. How can we make up a good story if we haven't had any practice?